Finally, and thank you for the opportunity to run through a bit of this in some detail, I wanted to thank and acknowledge and commend Minister O'Neill and Minister Rowland and the Attorney-General for the work that they've been leading in our government when it comes to this very concerning Optus data breach. Myself, Stephen Jones, Bill Shorten, Mark Butler now with the disclosure about the Medicare issues. The whole government, but particularly a handful of ministers, have been working almost around the clock for some days now to make sure that we're doing what we responsibly can to make sure that we're protecting these Optus consumers who are the unwilling victims of this data breach that we've seen. And I wanted to tell you in the Treasury portfolio the actions that we've been taking and the consultation that we have been engaged in. Now, first of all, we do expect Optus to do whatever they can to protect their customers and to provide the necessary support. I think we've made that clear in recent days. Since Saturday, when I spoke to the Governor of the Reserve Bank, the Chair of APRA and the CEO of one of the big four banks, we've made sure that we've been working closely with the financial system and with the regulators to ensure that any steps that could be appropriately taken by the government or by the regulators in the financial system are being taken. What we want to do here is to make sure that if there's more that can be done by financial institutions to monitor risks and protect consumers, then that should be done. And we don't currently see this as an issue of financial stability, but obviously it's an issue about public confidence, and that matters greatly to us as well. At my instigation, early on Monday morning, the Governor of the Reserve Bank convened the Council of Financial Regulators, which is obviously the Reserve Bank, APRA, ASIC, ACCC were there, the ATO, the Treasury, to make sure that we were combining and that we were working together, cooperating, to make sure that we can deal with all of the issues that have been thrown up by this data breach for Optus customers. Again, at my instigation on Monday, the Treasury convened a meeting of several of the banks, as well as the Australian Banking Association, the Customer-Owned Banking Association, APRA, ACCC, and the Australian Financial Crimes Exchange to better understand any options and considerations that we needed to be working through as well. Now, one of the big focuses of these discussions and the discussions that are ongoing, including, again, between myself and the ACCC chair this morning, is the safe and secure sharing of data between Optus and regulated financial institutions with the appropriate safeguards to allow those institutions to undertake enhanced monitoring for the purposes of best protecting their consumers from any bad behaviour following this data breach. And obviously financial institutions can play a really important role here, using that data, if we can work out the best way to get it to them, to protect their customers who are at greatest risk of what's gone on here. Now, the reason that we are in these conversations in an ongoing way is because there are a number of considerations to work through. Privacy is obviously an important consideration, working with the Attorney-General. Which institutions can receive this data and under what terms and with what assurances, and the legal mechanisms required to facilitate this transfer, working closely with the Minister for Communications. So these discussions have had input from all of those regulators, the Treasury as well, and other institutions. Those conversations are ongoing. They've been happening since Saturday. We'll do our best to resolve these issues as soon as we can as part of a suite of broader efforts that the government is undertaking to respond adequately to what's happened here with this Optus data breach.